So it's looking like Hi-Fi Rush 2 is probably not going to make Crafton any money. According to the CEO, he's talking about buying Tango Gameworks from Microsoft. Got a pretty interesting article we're going to read here. And we also got palworlds. Looks like they're being sued by Nintendo. And I think we knew that there was a possibility this was going to happen. Now, I would say, on my stance, I don't think palworlds did anything wrong. And we got some examples to go over, too. We got some examples we're going to go over. Kind of curious. Put in the comment section below if you guys think that particular thing is valid. Do you think that palworlds should be suing? I mean, do you think they should be sued by Nintendo? We'll get to that here in a minute. What's going on, you guys? Gaming out of here, coming at you another video. Today we're going to be talking about some Hi-Fi Rush 2 and some Nintendo versus the world kind of scenario. First story we're going to get into is obviously Hi-Fi Rush 2. We got a lot of stuff that's particular going on in the industry these days. When Tango Gameworks was bought by Crafton, I was happy but annoyed at the same time. But I was more happy that this company is going to continue to make Hi-Fi Rush than I was annoyed that Xbox wasn't going to be the one responsible for creating a sequel to such a masterpiece game. But anyway, let's go into this. We got an article here by Game Developer, and they actually interviewed the CEO of Crafton, and he talks about the deal in general. So this is going to be an interesting conversation that I actually want to have with you guys. So Crafton's CEO has explained the acquisition of Tango Gameworks from Microsoft was a last-minute deal. So clearly this is one of those scenarios where, they were probably interested in them, but after they saw them get closed down, they rushed it, man. They rushed it. Speaking to Game Developer about the buyout, which was Crafton acquiring the Japanese studio and Hi-Fi Rush franchise, Kim said the deal was creativity rather than commercially motivated. So essentially he's saying, look, we know Hi-Fi Rush ain't going to make us that much money, if any. We want to be in better situations with our developers, which you could argue that Microsoft should want a little bit. We wanted to maintain their legacy, says Kim. Although they did not have a big success in their game, we saw many creatives worth pushing. That's why we wanted to work with the organization. Kim says Crafton wanted to acquire as many people as possible from Tango to continue their legacy. With the studio having been shuttered by Microsoft in May, the South Korean company best known for developing PUBG also rather smitten with Hi-Fi Rush and sought to acquire the IP to develop the sequels. Because Hi-Fi Rush fans really wanted the sequels, we negotiated with Tango Gameworks' parent company, Microsoft, to acquire the IP as well. He continues, according to Kim, the sudden shutdown of Tango Gameworks left employees obnoxious anxiety, which is pushing the Crafton to complete the deal as soon as possible. We wanted to make sure the deal happened fast to minimize the gap in their career. He adds, Kim says the scale and complexity of the conglomerate like Microsoft meant it was difficult to move quickly. But the noted that the Xbox maker was open to a scale of both the studio and its IP. So essentially he's saying, look, because Microsoft's so big and there's so many hoops, this was not an easy thing that we could do quick. It took a little bit, but Microsoft was willing to come to the middle ground. They also sold them the IP because obviously we can agree that they probably wouldn't have bought Tango if it wasn't for the actual IP as well. Given Crafton felt the move was time sensitive, the company focused on purchasing the Hi-Fi Rush franchise as opposed to Tango's entire IP slate, which includes The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo. So that's probably what's going on. I made a video that's saying I was very curious to why they only bought Hi-Fi Rush. I'm kind of like wondering if now, since the deal is almost done, because obviously there's still paperwork probably being finalized, but once all that's completely put to the side, do you guys think that Krafton might go after Ghostwire Tokyo and the Evil Within? Because to me, it makes sense that Microsoft would sell that too at this point. You don't got the actual studio, so you might as well just get rid of that too. That's just me, though. If we were to acquire all the IPs, I think it's going to complicate the deal too much. Krafton is a pretty big company, but Microsoft is very complicated. He says we wanted to help the team continue developing their games, but especially Hi-Fi Rush. When I think about our fans, I think they really care about the Hi-Fi Rush sequels. You know, they saw that Metacritic. They saw the how much gamers love that game, how much the media love that game, how much influencers, streamers, they saw the overwhelming love for that game. The acquisition is still being finalized to kind of figure that, preventing Kim from disclosing how much Krafton has spent on the Japanese studio. He did, however, describe the purchase as not too expensive or not too cheap either. I'm not a betting person. I would say Microsoft pretty much let this studio and that IP go for pennies. Just something they can recoup some of the cost into the game, I suppose. I mean, look, I'm going to put this article in the description below because this is pretty much the only thing that they really talked about. I do like that there's one point where they say in here that Kim suggests corporations like Krafton shouldn't aspire to develop an infinity process of chart-topping hits, largely because there's a widely unrealistic aim. Instead, he feels the goal should be to break even while nurturing creativity. I agree on that completely. Look, we understand that these companies want a bigger and bigger return on investment every quarter. Like that's just how business is, and we get it. Doesn't mean the way things should go should be this way. Pretty much all this shows here is, look, Microsoft and Xbox knew the bad publicity. So anyone that was willing to pull up and purchase that studio just to keep the bad publicity as good as possible. Keep in mind, this is a Japanese studio as well. So I'm sure that they were knowing that, the locals there from Capcom, Konami, Sony to a degree, Nintendo, they knew that people were going to be upset and might affect relationships going forward. I like this. Especially, a lot of people don't like, Krafton, even if I'm butchering their name. It is what it is. It is what it is at this point. We got to see exactly what they bring to the franchise, how much they bring to the franchise. So I'm curious on that standpoint. I don't know if we're going to enjoy that or not, but we're going to have to see in the future. I hope for the best. So let's talk about this. Nintendo is suing the people who make palworld. So the palworld company has already made statements about this. They were just pretty much like, look, we're going through the process now. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. So it is what it is. It's called Pocket Pair. Let's go over the actual. Let's look at palworld's Twitter response to this particular situation. Okay, so let me switch to another one. Let's do this. So regarding the lawsuit, yesterday, a lawsuit was filed against our company for a patent infringement. We have received notices of this lawsuit and will begin the appropriate legal procedures and investigations into the claims of the patent. This part's wild to me. At this moment, we are unaware of the specific patents that we are accused of infringing upon, and we have been notified of such details. They haven't been notified on exactly what they're going after. So, look, there's no denying that there are pals that are very, very similar to Pokemon. I could see Gyarados. There's a couple grass types that look similar. There's a few. There's no denying that there's definitely some inspired pals that came from the Pokemon franchise. There's no denying that. But legally, is there a way that Nintendo can actually enforce this? Now, they are, to my knowledge, I'm not a lawyer, but they are suing him, obviously, in Japan. So maybe there's a lot more stuff that they have access to. But I saw this one particular tweet. Now, keep in mind, this is hilarious. Let's go over here, guys. Like, this is crazy. This is Dragon Quest in, I think, 1986. This is Dragon Quest in 86, and then afterwards, Pokemon came out. Now, am I 100% sure that everything's smooth with this? Not really. But it is interesting. Now, I will say this individual's perspective is a little skewed. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But let's go over here and look at this Dragon Quest. Do you guys think that this individual looks like Zubat? I think you can make an argument, but I don't think that that one is a go. That's not a go, Chief. You can make the go back kind of looks like whatever this thing is from Dragon Quest. Caterpie looks definitely like theirs, man. Nidoran, Pinsir a little bit. I forget this Pokemon's name. It starts with an O. Put in the comment section below if you guys remember it. Shell, no. It kind of, look. There are Ghost, Ghastly looks almost identical. It's just like the actual perspective is different. When you look at these, you can clearly tell that they're, to a degree, is inspired as well. Some of these I'm not agreeing with them. Some of them I'm not agreeing with them. I do feel that, you know, in terms of what's going on here, he is pulling a little bit. He's reaching a little bit. But I will say some of those Pokemon look mad close to Dragon Quest. I don't know the laws in Japan. I don't know if even if they win in Japan, could the company that makes Palworld, could they leave Japan, set up somewhere else and be fine? I don't know anything like that. Maybe in the comment section below you guys can comment on it. All I know is from my perspective, look, everything copies off of everything. Everything looks like of everything. I'm sure if you look at the medium from video games to movies to TV, you can find stuff that looks almost identical to everything on Pokemon that came out before Pokemon. We just showed the Dragon Quest thing. Did those things look identical to the Pokemon? No. Did they look similar enough where you can argue the same perspective between Pokemon and Palworld? I think there's an argument there. Do I think they're going to win this? As much as I hate to say it, I say yes. Nintendo got deep pockets. You know, Palworld was a huge success last year, but I don't know if they can outlaw sue Nintendo. Nintendo is well known, for coming to them with the quickness, dropping that banhammer with the quickness. I'm very curious if they actually win this or not. I'm going to keep up with this. I don't know if I'll make content on it. Just depends on how this video does. But, you know, tell me what you guys think about this, man. Do you guys think that Pokemon do you think they got a case here, man? Do you guys think they got a case here? I hope they don't. I really do. I really enjoy Palworld, and I would hate for this game to get shut down. But anyway, put in the comment section below. Very curious your guys' opinion on this. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like button. It's always appreciated. You can always sub to the channel for weekly content. We make content almost every day here at this point. Definitely follow me on Twitter at LordAddictILP, and I have a streaming channel in the description below, Addict Arena, where we pretty much go over the gaming day-to-day gaming news. We as a community talk about it. We play games. We have a good time over there. Definitely go over there and check that out. But until next time, this is Gaming Addict. I'm out of here. Peace. Man, my voice is starting to give out because I've been talking for almost 14 minutes straight. It's not an excessive amount, but you guys get it. See you guys.